Heartbreaking story. A daughter had to use Facetime to say goodbye to her mother dying of COVID-19. We first told you about this last week, and tonight the nurse that helped make that happen is sharing her story with Cairo 7's Lindsay Sheldon.
Monique, this was emotional for the three nurses in the room. One of them was so tearful, she had to step outside. The nurse we spoke with says the hardest part has been the limits on visitors because community and social support is so important. And yet this contagious disease isn't allowing families to be there in person. This is Michelle Bennett saying her last goodbye to her mother, Carol Ann Gann, on FaceTime. The 75-year-old died from coronavirus just over 1 week ago. Tatiana Huber is one of the nurses at Swedish Issaquah who helped them see each other this one last time.
We felt honored. We felt so honored that we could do that and we could facilitate that for her.
Carol Ann herself was a former nurse who helped patients for 38 years. She was at the Issaquah Nursing and Rehabilitation Center when other patients got coronavirus, and then she did too.
And at that moment, the world was a little bit crashing down.
Michelle and her wife Brandy were thankful the nurses in their protective gear could be there when they were not allowed.
The nurses were so good about, I'm rubbing her head, holding her hand. She's not alone. And I know it was so hard for them, their compassion and their tears.
Michelle, a former Sammamish police chief and now major with the King County Sheriff's Office, says nurses like Tatiana are truly heroic, finding ways for families to still connect with their loved ones.
So I was able to say goodbye and tell her I love her, and then I look at the nurse and she has all her stuff on, but she's crying.
And for families who are dealing with the same heart-wrenching distance as Michelle's family did.
Please know that we're doing everything to make sure that your family member does not feel scared and alone when it's their time. Please know that we're there for them, and just share with us what we can do to make them feel safe and comfortable.
Huber has a simple message for the community right now. Stay home.
We don't want you and your family to be in the situation where you can't be there for them to say goodbye. Just please continue the good work with social distancing and staying home. It won't be forever.
Huber says this experience had additional meaning for her personally. In the past, someone very close to her was unable to say goodbye to her mother, and Huber herself lost her sister and didn't have a chance to say goodbye. She says she was grateful that they were able to give Michelle's family some sense of closure. Monique.